Well, I was planning on doing a different feedback video, but I changed my mind. So I'll explain why at the end of this video. So if you want to know why it's not another video I'm doing a feedback of, well, just stay tuned. But I thought instead we would read over those of you that left comments for my vehicle ideas video. So your feedback is most definitely welcome. And we'll check it out right now. So let's go do that. Let's see. Wolf says the gliders I can see working well on top of the mountains, such as Large Rocks, New Austin, Amberino. Definitely the perfect area to use when heading into the direction of Valentine roads. Save some money on fast traveling. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Mike, no. No weapons enabled for races. You know I don't care for that crap. Let's see. Aki says, no motorized vehicles at all. I fear it turns into Wild West Saints Row. Yeah, I can understand why people feel that way. And that's the reason why I like to do these feedback shows and see your thoughts, pros, cons. Kyle, Oldsmobile was founded in 1897, so I think it'd be cool to see them at the very end of Red Dead Online's life cycle. Well, I don't think they're ever going to have any quote-unquote real brands in their games, like the GTA series or the Red Dead series. So I don't see that happening, Kyle. Let's see. Pigeon. Hello, Pigeon. Personally, I don't think they should. Well, that's a good point, you know. And the reason why I put these ideas out there is so we could brainstorm them, think about them one way or the other. And at the end of the day, if none of these vehicles ever make it in Red Dead Online, then that's fine. Terry, let's see. Maybe they could add gas-powered scooter I've seen in the Wild West movie, like a car in Red Dead Redemption 1. Okay. You also want to own a train business. Well, maybe we'll be able to own trains in the future. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Steve. Yeah, some would be cool, but anything that goes in the air would be a bad idea unless you want GTA in the West. Well, that's why I think it's important, Steve, to have some balance when it comes to any sort of vehicles. Like, people want to be able to, not everybody, but there's some people that want to have some sort of flying contraptions in Red Dead Online. And I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I don't think they should be weaponized. Like the gliders, for example. Just have it where people can just fly around on a glider. Let's see, West. Let's see, or Wes? How do I say that name? Wes. Let's just call you Wes. Hey, Wes. There's a crash glider in the desert. You're right. And I forgot to mention that in the video, so thanks for reminding me about that, Wes. I apologize. So yeah, there are already gliders that exist on the map of Red Dead Online, aka Red Dead Redemption 2 map. I think there's at least 2 gliders, if I remember correctly. So yeah, gliders obviously already established in the Red Dead verse. Let's see, Kenji, I would personally like to see hot air balloons to see the map from a different perspective. And that's another reason why some players would like to have the map, the hot air balloons in Red Dead Online. And once again, you'd have to understand that the hot air balloon works differently than, say, a blimp or a glider. It's dependent entirely on which way the wind's blowing. Let's see, World Citizen, I'm not looking forward to this. GTA Online seem more like Saints Row with some later vehicle content, and I agree entirely with you. I don't want to see that happen in Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, even if these vehicles may have been around at the time period. I don't think Rockstar can resist the urge to go over the top to sell more gold bars. And that's kind of the damned if they do, damned if they don't scenario. On one hand, some of these vehicles I would be okay with. I don't even know if I would personally want to use them. I would, in a weird way, I would kind of like to see how they would function in this world. But like I mentioned, there's also part of me that is just content with the game getting other types of content, like better horses, more properties to own, as well as new roles, heists. And if they fix the issues in the game, then I would be happy. But there is always the possibility of them adding OP vehicles to Red Dead Online, such like in Grand Theft Auto Online, the broomstick, aka the Mark II oppressor. I definitely never want to see anything like that in Red Dead Online. See, El Davo, there was a hidden dialogue at camp about a horseless carriage. So yeah, that's what I'm saying, El Davo, that at this time period, like horseless carriages do exist in the world. And it is entirely possible that eventually they may add some of these vehicles that existed in the 1890s to Red Dead Online. Let's see, Toes Track Man. This coming from the man who wants Pegasus in the game. Give us gliders so we can jump off a cliff like lemmings. Okay, so I'll talk more about this point in a moment and what he's referring to. So let's go ahead and move on to Parker. To think that the game could have been peaceful. Well, I hate to tell you something, Parker. Have you played Red Dead Online lately? It's anything but peaceful with the griefing cancer spreading across Red Dead Online. Motors putting all over. Well, like I said, if they balance the game when it comes to the vehicles like 1890s cars or the velocipedes, aka the steam motorbikes, then technically a horse would still be probably overall the better way to get across the map or fast travel. Let's see, Cody. I like the slow transition from the 1810s to the 1840s of all their technologies, but as a single-player DLC, well, unfortunately, Cody, we're probably not going to get a single-player DLC. I mean, I would like to believe that we would get at least one single-player DLC, but I seriously doubt it, and I don't see them doing some sort of transition as you envision, unfortunately. Let's see, Duncan. Let's see, luxury train cars. See, you know, that's not a bad idea. Because all we have now roaming throughout the map of Red Dead Online is the freight trains and not the passenger trains. And I hope that eventually they interchange it to where, you know, passenger trains also appear so that we can at least rob them. But, you know, like a luxury train car would be kind of cool. Similar to Cornwall's in the first chapter of Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's see, Lanky. I like to see mythical mounts if they do something like Undead Nightmare 2. And I'll talk more about that in a moment. Okay, Death Proof has 2. Let's see, a simple thing Rockstar should do when it comes to vehicles is just allow us to choose what horses we use for our wagons. That's something that surprised a lot of us, is the fact that we now have a hunting wagon and a bounty wagon. Yet we don't have the option to pick a specific type of horse to use with the wagon. Now, obviously, you'd want to use a big workhorse for that sort of thing in order to pull the hunting wagon, especially the bounty wagon. But it would have been nice if we would have had some customization there and some horse options and some coats to choose from when it came to our wagon horses. Death Proof once again. But could you picture an outlaw with a dusty stalker hat, eye patch, double barrel bandolier, and 2 long arm guns strapped to his back, riding a bicycle? It's an online game, so yes, Death Proof, I could picture it. Let's see, Terry. Let's see, wish we could move to Guarma. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping eventually they find some sort of use for Guarma. Maybe for like some future PvP maps. Let's see, Paul. Hey, Paul. Cheers, GB. Some nice views and points made. Thank you as always for watching my videos, Paul. Let's see, Noah. Really want more boats. All of them are in Saint Denis and the big ones are inaccessible. Really just disappointed my friends and me. Yeah, I think that they will add purchasable boats. Hopefully we can customize the various boats we talked about in the vehicles update, the video that we're doing a feedback of, obviously. And at least a riverboat property similar to yachts. That would be kind of cool. Let's see, 7. Let's see, I definitely think we're going to get hot air balloons and gliders eventually, but we're around during the time period and there already is Blue Crash gliders in New Austin. You're right. You're absolutely right. And once again, I do apologize for forgetting about that. You know what happens. For those of you dreading the inevitable release of Armored War Wagon, which is definitely coming, that'll just be the tip of the iceberg. You know, that's a very real possibility. Try to have some fun now, because there'll be a small window before it ends up resembling the Old West GTA Online, where those items to sell gold bars, that's all they really care about, they being Rockstar. So yeah, the Armored War Wagon will probably come to Red Dead Online sooner rather than later. And I know people have issue with it, but at the same time, I mean, we have explosive ammo, we have dynamite, and, you know, the war wagons will be vulnerable because they're pulled by horses. So if you take out the horse, chances are the war wagon will become stationary, a lot easier to take out. And maybe it even despawns if you take out the horse that's pulling the war wagon. That's just something I thought about. Let's see, Joseph, what about tanks? No tanks, Joseph. Tanks are not officially around until World War I. I know Leonardo da Vinci had some great, wild, crazy ideas and had some great drawings, but technically the first official tank did not exist until World War I, aka the Great War. Let's see. Carlos. Hello, Carlos. First motorbikes were produced already commercially before 1830. I don't know about that. I think the research shows that it was 1860s. But anyways, continuing slowly. Not OP, but cool. Let's see. Be very much happy only if we got the agile, sturdy, small, one-seat wagon, hot air balloon that could be steered so I could reach and explore those unacceptable mountain peaks. That could bring the whole new range of collectibles, treasures hidden along the ridges. See, we already have the goggles for it. You know, that's an idea. Is eventually adding like more rare collectibles and put them in like harder to reach places, like up there on Mount Shan or Mount Hagen. You know, up in the various parts of Amberino. There's a few collectibles that happen to get put up there in the West and East Grizzlies. And I guess even though realistically the hot air balloon would only move in reality via the wind, I guess Rockstar would just have to make it to where we could like move the hot air balloon around, similar to, like I mentioned already, a blimp, airship, Zeppelin. Well, there are two John Wayne movies in the era. One is a horseless carriage in the city of Saint-Denis. The other has a motorcycle, an automatic pistol, looks almost like the one in the catalog. Bicycles were for mostly cities, not good on open road. Yeah, I mean, I realize bicycles back in the 1890s are not up to the same level as bicycles of today that can, go, farther than their counterparts from the late 19th century. Balloon races are cool. I don't know, balloon races would be extremely slow. I think glider races would be more interesting. Then again, rowboat races would be slow too, but still. Races are races. Let's see, have them every year. Nice to own one. A nice little boat would be nice, like a 30-footer where you could go and perform your activities. Yeah, I definitely would like to have some sort of boats added to us so we could purchase and use my categories. Let's see, Heartless Toaster, hot air balloon. Another vote for a Heartless air balloon. I don't know why I said that. Sorry, Heartless. Let's see. Tank Buster. The bicycle design. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, for the most part, the bicycle design has stayed relatively the same, with the exception of some changes here and there, some upgrades along the way. Obviously, like stronger metals and framing and whatnot. And like I mentioned, most bicycles today, performance-wise, can do way better than the bicycles of the 1890s period. But still, it's a video game. And finally, Foxhound. How about the broomstick? No, Foxhound. No. As a bonus, let's go to the community page, because this is where I was talking about my ideas. Just to give you guys a little inside baseball about how I do these videos. And I've been doing idea videos since the beginning of the channel. In fact, that was the very first video I ever did, was one about using Bolingbroke Penitentiary in Grand Theft Auto Online for bad sports. So the ideas that I present in my videos, sometimes I like the ideas, sometimes I don't, but they're still ideas. And the way I base the ideas specifically in Red Dead Online is twofold. One is historical accuracy, like, does it actually exist in the world that Red Dead is based on, like the 1890s? Was this stuff actually legit? Was it real, historically speaking? But there's another factor you can also put in there, and that is the established lore within the Red Dead universe, the Red Dead franchise. For example, the mythical mounts that a few of you brought up, the fact that I mentioned something about a Pegasus a while back. Now, look, I don't know how I feel personally about flying around on a Pegasus in Red Dead Online. The reason why I've mentioned it before in the past and other mythical mounts is because the lore already exists that establish the mythical mounts as a thing in the game. For example, Undead Nightmare, we had the Horses of the Apocalypse, War, Famine, Pestilence, Death. We also had a zombie horse. We also had a unicorn. And in Red Dead Redemption multiplayer, we had the Zonkey. We had the ability to ride a buffalo and a bull. So the possibility of unusual mythical mounts is not out of the realm of possibility for Red Dead Online. And so that's why I always factor that in, along with quote-unquote historical accuracy from the 1890s time period in our own world. So I always use both as a kind of a balancing act for my ideas. Let's see, first off, Death Gun. Hello, Death Gun. Well said. Great to see I'm not the only YouTuber willing to show love to Red Dead Online, even when it's down, and willing to share personal ideas to spark the imagination of the community as well, and maybe Rockstar. And that's one reason why I love doing these ideas. Now, chances are, maybe my ideas will never reach those at Rockstar. And maybe there's ideas that I come up with that some of you think are stupid or dumb or ridiculous or should never, ever be in Red Dead Online. And that's why everyone has a right to your opinions and your views on these issues. You know, whether or not you like or dislike my ideas is entirely up to you. And mainly, it's just my ideas spark other ideas and our imaginations for brewing and having a dialogue, a discussion back and forth. Arthur, thank you very much. I'm glad you love the videos. ESP, I mean, there's logic in this video. Rockstar doesn't like that. Sadly, I think you're right about that, ESP. Let's see, Wiser, I just played the PC version. I swear performance is much better than 2 days ago. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to Mike. The mechanics for the hot air balloon mission and story mode should easily be moved to online as well. Likely any hot air balloon online would be controlled by the same way as in story. So yeah, Mike, I think it's pretty much established if we ever do get a hot air balloon in Red Dead Online, the ability to purchase and drive a hot air balloon, it would work a little bit differently than its real life counterparts. But once again, video games. Thank you to everybody that chimed in regarding my vehicle ideas video. And like I said, I don't know if any of these ideas I came up with will ever become a thing. Some of them probably will. A lot of them may not. I never want to see anything OP or ridiculous in Red Dead Online, like a version of the Oppressor Mark II or a version of the orbital cannon. I don't want any of that nonsense in Red Dead Online. I just want things that either A, make sense historically, or B, can work within the established lore of Red Dead Online, such as the mythical horses and other animals and mounts, which eventually I think Rockstar will add both the further along Red Dead Online goes. Now, the big question some of you are probably asking yourselves that have made it this far in the feedback video, GB, what were you referring to at the beginning of this video? Well, I originally was going to do a feedback of my server rant video, but in the middle of doing it and reading the replies, it literally drained me to the point that I just had to stop recording. I mean, it was literally, for some reason, just spiritually crushing me and pushing me down in my gaming chair. And it has nothing to do with the replies themselves. It's just what it symbolizes. The fact that so many of us within this community that love Red Dead Online so much, despite its issues and flaws and shortcomings, we're all frustrated right now. Extremely. And we're disappointed, and it feels like it's taken Rockstar a lot longer than it should to resolve these ongoing issues like the animal spawns, the various problems in the lobby, camps not pitching properly, infinite loading screen, the griefers, feeling like that defensive mode is broken. And the truth is, it almost broke me when I was recording that video earlier. I'm not kidding. I just sat here and I couldn't do it. I literally couldn't go on, so I scrapped that version of the video. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody, but I hope that Rockstar is listening to our feedback. I have to believe that they're fully aware that we're still having these problems, that they're not going away, and something more than patches have to be done to fix the game. So I hope they're coming up with a plan. I feel like I'm a broken record. I feel like I'm a parrot repeating myself over and over again. And we do it a lot during the live streams, which is fine. And it's great to have a place for us to vent, right? But I also love the other aspect of being a content creator. And that's, the idea series and reading your feedback and brainstorming about future roles and future content. Even if some of it is ridiculous and wacky and never going to be a thing in Red Dead Online. Like, for example, gliders. Gliders may never happen in Red Dead Online. We may never get motorized, steam-powered motorbikes or 1890s era cars or other nonsense, or unicorns or Pegasus. It's just fun to think about. Whether or not I actually want that stuff in the game remains to be seen. As long as it's, I guess, quote-unquote balanced, I'm kind of okay with it. But if it's going to end up being like too OP and overpowering and it really breaks the game, then I kind of sort of have a problem with it. So it's always going back, it's just the way ideas are. Some ideas are good, some ideas aren't so good. But one thing I've come to realize is that I just couldn't bring myself to complete that feedback video. And I sincerely apologize to everybody that left comments. I read over your comments, and it just got to the point where I feel like I've been doing this for the past few weeks. And it literally was killing me. Not really killing me. Okay, I'm joking about that. It wasn't killing me. It was draining me, though. And it was pushing me to the breaking point. And I don't blame anyone that left comments. Even those that disagree with me, that are experts when it comes to servers. I do not claim to be an expert. I have no idea what kind of server that Rockstar is using. Whether it's a third-party server, a peer-to-peer thing, or whatever. Or maybe it's a rodent in a spinny wheel. Maybe that's what they're using for Red Dead Online. I have no freaking idea, okay? I don't have all the answers. But when you read the comments and you realize that there are so many people within this community that are having similar issues, then obviously there are serious problems with the game. And we all know that. We're all fully aware of it. But at the same time, we still love the game. That's why we keep playing it. Well, I guess a lot of us are still playing it because we want to keep our daily streak alive and continue earning gold, because it's the best way to earn gold, in the hopes that Rockstar will resolve these issues. I mean, there's always going to be problems and bugs and glitches in Red Dead Online, just like in Grand Theft Auto Online and various other online games. It's getting very, very frustrating for myself and a lot of you within the community, but it's a balancing act, right? We want to be optimistic. We want to believe that these issues will be resolved, and we want to think about the future of Red Dead Online and hope that it's, still has, a few years in it, right? That it's just beginning, not reaching its end. I hope that's not the case. I hope the sunset is not anywhere near for Red Dead Online, because I feel like the sun is just starting to go up over the past year. And I realize online games come and go, the lifespan for most online games are lucky to survive a year or two. It's a fluke whenever you have one that goes as long as, say, World of Warcraft or Star Wars Old Republic or Elder Scrolls Online or Grand Theft Auto Online. But I feel like the potential for Red Dead Online to last a few years and continue building up on this community and having some awesome experiences and roles and stuff for us to do is still there. The possibilities are still there. But there's a few big hurdles in the way that Rockstar has to address, and most of us know what that is. You experience it almost every day when you log into Red Dead Online, when you're playing, when you're trying to do the dailies, or you're just trying to rank up one of your roles, or the Outlaw Pass. We all know the problems the game is facing. And so does Rockstar. And they do seem slow to react, like a big giant ship that's slow to move. But I have to believe that they're working hard behind the scenes to figure this thing out. But the truth is, these patches are not solving the problems. In fact, some would make the argument that they could be just making things worse. So I don't know what the future is for Red Dead Online. I hope we get past this, because I still love this game. I know a lot of you do too. And I want to continue playing it. I want to continue covering it. I want to continue being excited about future roles and content. And the sky's the limit. And I'm going to continue throwing out ideas and reading over your comments. It's just frustrating right now. And it's just all about us trying to, I guess, hold it together, right? And endure and hope for the best and try to have some form of optimism going forward towards the spring update. And maybe, just maybe, the spring update, or before the spring update, hopefully sooner rather than later, Rockstar will get it together and figure out what the hell's going on and fix the major issues in the game. The minor issues we can live with. It's the major issues that's hurting the game right now. And every day, more and more people are leaving. And I don't want to see that. I really don't. I want to see the community continue to grow, not shrink to the point where Rockstar abandons Red Dead Online, just like Tumbleweed circa 1911. So I hope that's not the case, but only time will tell. But at the same time, I do thank all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, my mods, Super Chat heroes, members, for being part of my community and continue to watch my content, leaving comments and likes and dislikes whenever you happen to dislike one of my videos or live streams, which is perfectly fine. Once again, I apologize for not doing a feedback video for the server rant. I hope some of you understand why. Hopefully you sympathize with me on this one. It's crushing to see all the comments. And I read them every day. I do read your comments. And it does hurt to read so many comments regarding so many of you that are also having problems with this game, because we're not alone. And I guess that's a good thing. I guess misery loves company. And maybe, just maybe, by the spring, things will get better in Red Dead Online. At least we can only hope.